Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are listening to me from. Welcome back to class. And in today's session, in this class, we are going to be looking at the developing entrepreneurial mindset. Of course, this is quite important because as far as anything is concerned, whether it's business, profession, career, whatever endeavor, any woman endeavor, mindset is key. Mindset is important. Of course, whatever we become is as a result of our mindset. So this is quite similar to being an entrepreneur. It requires that you have a certain mindset. You have a mindset. You have the way your mind is configured to be able to perform activities, create plans, sustain policies, build strategies, come up with teams, and all other entrepreneurial activities. So every business success is traced to the mindset of the owner or the visionary of that business. So most of the time, a lot of people start businesses with an improper mindset, their mindset with a fixed mindset, with a non-flexible mindset, with a mindset that is rigid, with a mindset that carry some elements or that carry some notion or concept about the product or service they want to render, or about business or entrepreneurship itself. Okay, so it is quite important that anyone going into business, or even you are in business already, you develop a typical mindset of an entrepreneur. This is a mindset that many successful entrepreneurs have taken, and of course, it has helped shaped the way they see the world. It has helped shaped the way they view things, their values, their morals, their motivations, and their relationships generally. So in this class, we are going to be looking at what is entrepreneurial mindset, what informs entrepreneurial mindset, how do you develop entrepreneurial mindset, and why is it important that you develop an entrepreneurial mindset. Welcome to class this afternoon. Okay, so we start with the definition. A lot of definition is there for defining entrepreneurial mindset, but generally speaking, entrepreneurial mindset refers to a specific state of the mind. Please underline that word, a specific state of the mind, which orientates human conduct towards entrepreneurial activities and outcome. Let me demystify it a bit. Of course, we all understand that it is thinking that leads to action. It is action that produces results. Okay, so thinking is as a result of this a specific state of the mind. Okay, so the same thing applies to any entrepreneur or any business owner. There is a specific state of the mind that dictates your actions, your strategies, that informs what you do in order to achieve your business goals and objectives. Okay, so entrepreneurial mindset deals with a specific state of the mind where we can trace your conduct that leads to whatever activities that you are doing as an entrepreneur and the overall outcome. Okay, so please understand that every entrepreneur has a state, a specific state of mind, and it is this specific state of mind that determines their actions, and it is these actions or activities that determine the outcome. So every result you see in the business world is a function of the state of the mind of one person. Okay, so it is quite important that we delve into this state of the mind. Of course, help business people orientate, refurbish, rebuild, and of course, embellish this mindset such that the mindset will be effective enough to dictate their conduct, and that conduct will be so good enough to produce good results. Of course, every entrepreneur do want to achieve great result. Of course, they want to achieve their business dreams and objectives and the like. So, but everything starts with a mindset. So this is the definition of entrepreneurial mindset. And of course, you understand why businesses succeed or fail, even as you go into business. That is why it is important that you check your mindset, what is in your mind when you are going to the business, because this alone is one of the major factors that determines the success or failure of a business. Okay, now having said that, now we begin to look at what is in an entrepreneurial mind. What does an entrepreneurial mindset entails? Okay, now in an entrepreneurial mind, it's also an entrepreneurial mind. The mindset has to do with critical thinking. Now, that's ability of the mind, the ability of the mind to engage the thinking faculty to be able to think objectively, critically, strategically in order to come up with ideas and solutions to problems. Okay, so an entrepreneurial mindset contains a critical thinking mindset. In an entrepreneur's mind, he understands that he or she must be able to think critically, strategically, problem-based thinking, forward-based thinking in order to achieve whatever business objective or result he or she needs. So this is an entrepreneurial mindset, critical thinking. Number two is flexibility and adaptability. In an entrepreneurial mindset, an entrepreneur understands in his mind that he or she must be flexible enough to whatever changes that is occurring in his or her sector, and be able to adapt to the trends in the business world or in his or her sector. So in your mind, in an entrepreneur's mind, you understand that flexibility and adaptability are key to adjusting to changes, adapting to them, and of course, making best out of them. Okay. In an entrepreneurial mindset, again, you have communication and collaboration. An entrepreneur have the mindset that he or she must communicate and collaborate. This means that, of course, whatever vision, like I do tell people, whatever vision or mission or objective, no matter how laudable it are, if it is not spoken out, it has not been formed. It is possible that you have great mindset. If people do not know about it, it's just as useless. It's like you put a seed in the ground, and without water, the seed is as useless as any other thing. Okay, so the water or the elements that makes your idea, your business acumen go is when you communicate it and people know. Of course, you communicate your business ideas and everything through your product and services and the way you relate with customers and clients and every other thing. Okay, so an entrepreneur understand that, have the mindset that he or she must communicate effectively in order to achieve whatever business objectives he has set. And of course, an entrepreneur also understand that he must have a mindset to collaborate with people. And this is quite important, because you see a lot of entrepreneurs, you don't have that mindset. They feel they think in their mind that collaborating is competition. No. And of course, when you see, I've met with a lot of people, most especially there was a time when I was starting my tutorial center. Then I remember someone came to me and said, "Oh, we are using this block. Can I use this block?" I said, "Fine. There is always room although the person was doing it out of a particular mindset that, okay, he wants to destabilize whatever we are doing, and so that we just lose our sense of what's it called. But I thought that I looked at it in a different way. I felt that it could be as a result of unhealthy competition that could make that business to go. And then more importantly, I was looking at, my mind was set up that we could collaborate. While I undo O level, we can collaborate in the sense that he handles the A level classes. Okay, so my mindset was different. And then you see a lot of startups having this kind of negative mindset that whenever people approach them that let's do this together, it is about competition. They see other persons as competitors instead of potential collaborators. Okay, this is a mindset on its own, and anyone having this kind of a negative competition mindset hardly sustain their business. Okay, so it is important that you have a mindset that is fixed on business is hinged on effective communication and collaboration. Okay, so that's a mindset on its own. Then another mindset of an entrepreneur is comfortability with risk. Comfortability with risk. One of the things that has highlighted my own life, generally speaking, is that I'm a kind of person that is so comfortable with risk. I could take I remember a time I was registering this Emerald stuff. We wanted to do website, do all those legal stuff and the branding stuff. In my in my account then, I remember I had only just 90,000 or 100,000, and I was supposed to use about 180 plus for all the stuff, the branding and every other thing like that. So and then I just finished NYC, and if you finish NYC, you don't have any money, you just have to cater for yourself and the lives. I said, well, then one mind was telling me, what if I put all the money and go and get loan again, and this thing did not work? I said no. My mind had been trained to see possibilities in risk. Okay, so I decided. I said no. Even if it didn't work out, at least I tried. So I have a mindset that is comfortable with risk. I know that whether the business succeed or not, at least I've taken that risk, and of course I'm comfortable. I have the peace in my mind that I've taken the risk. So an entrepreneur must have the mindset that risk is part of business, and of course can go to any lesson. You are comfortable with taking risk. If you do not have this mindset of risk taking, you do not have an entrepreneurial mindset. So the mindset of a successful entrepreneur is that risk is part of business, and he or she is comfortable with risk. So you have to check your mindset now. Are you comfortable with risk? Okay, so another entrepreneurial mindset, the mindset of a successful entrepreneur is initiative and self-reliance. An entrepreneur have the mindset that he or she needs to take initiative and must be self-reliant, ability to rely on his or our own initiative to take decisions that will make the business to go or sustain the business. Okay, so the mindset is fixed on the fact that I must be initiative and self-reliant. You must have that kind of mindset. And of course, an entrepreneur also have the mindset of we call it the futuristic mindset, ability to understand the future, or let me start with ability to perceive the future, understand the happenings of the future, anticipate the future, and take necessary measures to bring the future to the present. Okay, so an entrepreneur has this mindset of future orientation, is futuristic. The mindset has been trained to think about the future. Okay, so these are what are in the mind of a successful entrepreneur. And then of course, an entrepreneur again have the mindset of recognizing opportunity. An entrepreneur have the mindset of recognizing opportunities. And in the mind of an entrepreneur, he understands that opportunity are the gateway to sustainability. Opportunity are the gateway to sustainability and profitability. A successful entrepreneur understands that opportunity is the gateway to profitability and sustainability. And of course, in his mind, he must always recognize, identify, and of course, maximize opportunity as they come. So he has this mindset that opportunity is key to development. Okay. And then, of course, an entrepreneur also have the mindset that he or she needs to be creative. Business needs creativity and innovation to thrive. Any business without creativity and innovation cannot thrive and cannot stand the test of time, because times are changing, things are changing. It requires someone to be innovative and creative enough to come up with ideas and innovations that could meet the demands of the present and the future as well. So these elements are in the mind of an entrepreneur. And a successful entrepreneur have this mindset. And this is the mindset that sets the tone, whether for the business success or failure. This mindset, these elements are what makes up an effective entrepreneurial mindset. And of course, they determine how far a business and the business owner will also go in the journey of entrepreneurship. So understand that in your mindset, these elements must be rooted. They must be perceived as consequential, and then of course they must be perceived as indispensable and of course critical to succeed as an entrepreneur. Okay, so having this mindset as an entrepreneur makes you distinct from all other persons. And of course, this mindset can be developed. Of course, there are some of it. In most cases, from experience, most people do not have this kind of mindset when they are starting business. That is just the blank truth. Most people do not have this kind of mindset when they are starting. That's just a blank truth. However, this mindset can be developed over time. This mindset can be developed over time. Okay, so this mindset can be developed over time. Now, having said that, now we look at what makes up an entrepreneurial mindset. Three things I identified that makes up is the mentality of the entrepreneur itself. A whole lot of things have been talked about the mindset of an average entrepreneur, most especially domiciled in Africa, for instance. The mentality, some of the mentality of some business owners, especially startup people that are just starting up, is that in this part of the world, business is hard, business is difficult to do. It's very hard for you to make it. It's very hard for you to make to sustain the business. This set of people are the ones that are doing the business and that are making the money, and peradventure they will be the one to make it for as long as they live on earth. Now, so this kind of mentality forms the bedrock of the mindset some entrepreneurs have. So an entrepreneur must understand that your mentality is significant to your productivity. Your mentality is significant to your productivity. It is your mentality that informs how productive you are going to be as an entrepreneur. Okay, so you must, as a matter of fact, evaluate effectively and of course thoroughly checkmate what kind of mentality you are carrying. If your mentality is bad, if your mentality is that of an average African or an average person going into business, that means if you do not set a tone, a higher tonality for your mentality, you are going to create a particular mindset that will not support the growth of your business. In fact, I must say this as a fact that this singular truth can be sometimes is a result of so many failures in business. This singular truth, because when you now begin to demystify why some business owners, most especially startups, fail, you understand that the nitty-gritty of their failure is found in their mindset, and that mindset was created as a result of a particular mentality and perception they have. Okay, so if your mentality is of, oh, let's just use this business as a means of living, that's the mentality on its own. Or let's use this business just to make name, that's the mentality on its own. Let's just use this business to get connected, that's the mentality of its own. So your mentality determines how productive you are going to be as a business owner. Okay, so it is quite important that as a business person, you work on your mentality, because it forms the bedrock of your mindset as an entrepreneur. Of course, very related to that is your perception, how you view the business world, how you view other entrepreneurs, how you view your sector, how you view your locality, how you view your working environment, how you view your country, how you view your continent, and how you view the globe as far as business is concerned. So your perception about all these elements forms your mindset. Your perception, a lot of people, like I've said the other time, their perception is that, what is it called? Their perception is that in most cases, business or anything entrepreneurship do not really make sense in this part of the world. They have that notion, or business is made for some persons. Then if business is made for some persons, why are you going into it in the first instance? Okay, so these are some of the things you have to change. If your mentality is not right, you have to change that mentality. If your perception, your view about all these things are not positive enough, you have to change it, because it determines your mindset, and then your mindset determines your actions. Your actions determines your result. Okay, another thing that informs entrepreneurial mindset is resourcefulness. If you are a person going to business and you are not resourceful enough, you are going to business, you are not resourceful enough, of course, this will inform your mindset. Of course, you begin to feel some low self-esteem. We call it self-efficacy now. You feel you are not efficient, effective, and capable enough to run a business. And then, of course, with that kind of mindset, you have set the tone for failure already. So being resourceful as a person informs your mindset. For instance, I am sure of my capabilities, I am sure of my skills, I am sure of my qualities, I'm sure of my educational background, I am sure of my expertise, I'm sure of my experience, I'm sure of how well I have added value to other people. That mindset alone, that resourcefulness alone, makes me understand that I am loaded, too loaded not to be needed. Okay, so I understand that I am needed in the business world, and of course, this forms a mindset that I am going to be successful because I know I'm resourceful. I know I'm going to be successful because I know I am resourceful. Okay, so if the resourcefulness is not there, the self-esteem, the self-efficacy is being torn down, and of course, the mindset is being battered, and of course, this affects your actions, your relationship with people, and ultimately the result you get in whatever business you are doing. Okay, so these are things that make up the mindset of an entrepreneur. Okay, so we look at why we need an entrepreneurial mindset. Of course, let me mention this underlying fact. Every business owner has a mindset. Every entrepreneur have a mindset, whether it is positive or negative, progressive or retrogressive, failure-based or success-based, and a whole whatever adjective you want to use to qualify it. Everyone have a mindset. Every entrepreneur have a mindset. But in this case, why do we need a positive mindset, number one? And why do we need the mindset? Of course, it is also important to know that creating an entrepreneurial mindset is an intentional and a conscious effort. Creating an entrepreneurial mindset is an intentional and a conscious effort. It does not go with anyone. That is just the truth. Of course, you might have the likability of having this mindset, even without even you going to business. Probably when you were young, your parents, due to your background, your parents were entrepreneurs. Of course, you begin to think in that line. You begin to develop some of these things. Yes, it is possible. But in absolute truth, everyone needs to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, irrespective of their background, their education, and experience level before they come into business. Okay, so there is a need to intentionally create an entrepreneurial mindset because one, as an entrepreneur, you are going to be making decisions with limited information. Yes, nobody has all the information in the world at a particular point in time. No, nobody has. So as an entrepreneur, you are going to be making decisions with limited information. So what really helps in making these decisions effective is the mindset that you have. Okay, so most of the time, even if it's not all, but I believe it's all, most of the time, our actions, our decisions are based on the mindset that we have. Okay, so creating an entrepreneurial mindset helps you to make decisions right, even with limited information, because you have a positive mindset of being successful. You have the elements of entrepreneurial mindset in you, and then you understand that concept very well. And then the mindset is there already that you want to be successful. Even with the limited information, you still make good decisions for you to move forward as a business. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we are in a time compressed and resource limited environment. We are in a time compressed and resource limited environment. Whatever environment that our business is operating from or will be operating from has limited resources. No matter the proximity of the resources, no matter the vastness of the resources, whatever, we are all business, quote and unquote, now have limited resources, irrespective of the environment that they are. Yes, this is a fact. And of course, again, we are all time compressed. We are all time bound. We are all time limited. Okay, so because of this time factor and resource factor, having an entrepreneurial mindset then comes into play, because if you not have this kind of mindset that is within an entrepreneur, you are going to be affected by this time and resource limitations, such that you make bad decisions and then you get wrong results. Okay. Then another reason why we need an entrepreneurial mindset is because there are no guarantees. In business, nobody is guaranteed of anything. Even if you have all the resources in terms of human capital, in terms of raw materials, whatever resources that you have, even if you have all the funds in the world, even if you have all the experts attached to you, even if you have the best working environment, no one in business, nothing is guaranteed until you start. Okay, so because nothing is guaranteed, something must carry you into that starting. That is the entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, so this is quite important, that in business there is no guarantee of success or failure. In fact, you have people that have a lot of business experience and the likes, and see they fail in their products and services. It's common. So there are no guarantees. Nobody is guaranteeing anybody, irrespective of the education you have, even if you have gone to Harvard to take business courses and the likes. There's no guarantee that you're going to succeed or fail. But of course, something must carry you as you go as an entrepreneur. That is the entrepreneurial mindset. That's why you need one. Again, another reason you need an entrepreneurial mindset is because business is associated with risk. Every business at one point or the other must take risk. In fact, starting a business is a risk on its own because you are not guaranteed whether it's going to be successful or not. And then even if you have started the business and the business is going and you are making millions of dollars and everything is going fine, there is no guarantee that the business will still end well. And then, of course, along the line, you still need to take calculated risk. Okay, so to take risk now requires that one has an entrepreneurial mindset that is hinged on success, profitability, and sustainability overall. Okay, so because of the certain amount of risk you need to take every time as a business person, you need an entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, another one is competition is changing. Now, we are in the 21st century now. A lot of competitions are out there, and of course, these competitions are changing with time. Okay, the market is also changing. Anyone without entrepreneurial mindset gets to get tired along the line, and of course, that's why you see a lot of business getting shut down at the peak of their performance, because the competition is changing, the market is changing. So it requires having an entrepreneurial, an effective, success-based entrepreneurial mindset to be able to adapt to these changes and, of course, move on and be successful. Okay. Then another reason why you need an entrepreneurial mindset is because the product and service life cycles are shorter and shorter. In fact, you will understand this from the fact that years in business, you can see a product or service reigning, let me quote and unquote, reigning, being the talk of the town for 2-3 years. Hardly you will see that you can't see that in the modern times now. You see a product in 3 months, 6 months, and then of course another product comes in, and then the other product gets swept away. It's as simple as that. The life cycle of products and services are getting shorter and shorter. So having an entrepreneurial mindset, the elements that we have said in the first time, it is very important, because with that mindset, you have to be creative in order to keep yourself in business, in order to keep your product useful and, of course, marketable all the time. Okay, so the life cycles of products are changing, they are shorter and getting shorter. So an entrepreneurial mindset is needed. So these are major reasons why you need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Okay, now we look at the importance of having an entrepreneurial mindset. Number one is for you to be able to cope with the rapidly changing society. If there's any time times are changing, things are changing now, it is this dispensation, this century. A lot of fast changes are happening. From here, in fact, some of the knowledge that you think you know today might be relevant tomorrow. Okay, so an entrepreneurial mindset is needed so that you can be able to cope with these changes. Else, these changes affect you and they kick you out of business. And then you need an entrepreneurial mindset so that you can develop your business ideas to the fullest. Even when you start your business, this is one of the mistakes entrepreneurs or business owners makes. Even when you start your business, note that your business idea does not fully go until it reaches some certain point. It's like one has it's like you are journeying in the on the surface of the heart. Of course, you know your purpose and every other thing. Your purpose gets to get more revealed as you go in the journey of that purpose. That is how business is. Your business ideas continue to develop as you continue in that business. It is not possible that you are starting a business today and you get a full glimpse of the idea you first conceived. No, it comes as a little information that you process, you strategize on, and you start working on, you start making a business. Then along the line, the ideas get expanded as you focus on that business. And then, of course, as the business grows, the ideas start growing. You begin to gain new perspective about the ideas and then come up with new products and services. That's how business works. Okay, so you need an entrepreneurial mindset to be able to develop this business idea to the fullest. At first, no business idea has reached maturity until some certain times when even you have continued in that business. This is a fact, and this is a truth all entrepreneurs must hold. It is very important. Okay, so another thing is the importance of entrepreneurial mindset is that it enhances innovations and growth. The innovations and growth of a business is traced to the mindset of the visionary and the people working with him. So the business owner or the visionary and the team must have entrepreneurial mindset for their business to grow and then for innovations to come out of the business. Okay. So, and then of course, it builds entrepreneurial society. We need to build more entrepreneurs. And then to build this entrepreneurial society, all of us need an entrepreneurial mindset. Like what I was sharing with some persons a few days ago, I mentioned that every profession has a business side. But the major problem we have is that most people do not have the entrepreneurial mindset such that they can identify that for every profession, every career, every endeavor of woman, there is a business side to it. I have said this times without number. No matter the profession that you are doing, no matter what you are doing currently, there is always a business side of that profession. Whether you see it or not, whether you understand it or not, whether you know how it works or not. But most people do not identify this, are not able to build on this because we have not been trained to have entrepreneurial mindset. We do not see, only what we see is what we want know, and now we can use what we know to generate income. Simple as ABC. We have not been trained. School has generally relegated us to think in a particular direction. So we do not understand that there is a business aspect to whatever profession we are doing. Okay, so it is quite important that the society begin to build entrepreneurial mindset so that we can build more entrepreneurs-based society. Africa and the third world countries really needs this if economic development will occur, okay, and if businesses will go. This is just the fact. Okay, so having said that, there are forces that are driving the new entrepreneurial mindset. A lot of things are driving the new entrepreneurial mindset now. We talk about customers' needs, platforms and ecosystems. We talk about technology and infrastructure. We talk about socioeconomics. For instance, under customer needs, one of the things that is driving the new entrepreneurial mindset now, that is bringing that people begin to have this mindset that of entrepreneurship and how to come about being in business is that is the customer's needs, from outsourcing to contingent workers to supply and exchange, from local consumers to services to experiences to customized or unique customers. Okay, so these customers' needs generally is one of the forces that drive entrepreneurial mindset. Of course, where you understand that our needs are unlimited and they continue to grow even as time and ages go. Okay, so this helps you to build this, drive your entrepreneurial mindset to the fullest because you want to satisfy the customer's needs. And then again, another thing that drives this entrepreneurial mindset is the platforms. In this case now, we begin to have a lot of platforms that are coming up in the world now, the market and labor platforms that are coming up now. They are driving the entrepreneurial mindset, the ecosystems that we are working with, and of course, the networks generally. And then, of course, technology. Technology is a major driver of entrepreneurial mindset and innovation and infrastructure. Of course, one of the reasons why one of the reasons why this entrepreneur mindset is not one of the reasons why this entrepreneur mindset is not well fixed or well formed in third world countries or developing countries is the level of debt in infrastructure. Infrastructure helps to drive your mindset such that it makes you to want to be more productive. And of course, things are changing now. Technology is improving and infrastructures are getting much better. So these are drivers of entrepreneurial mindset, and of course the social economics are also part of this. Okay. Finally, we look at how do you develop an entrepreneurial mindset. I think this is a major question. Now we have understand definitely that it is entrepreneurial mindset that determines the actions and the activities of an entrepreneur. And these actions and activities determine the result that entrepreneur will get on the long run. Okay, so that means that it is, and I said that developing entrepreneurial mindset must be conscious and intentional. You must begin to build your mind in such a way that it hinges on entrepreneurship and on the elements of entrepreneurship that I've mentioned, and then the element of entrepreneurial mindset that I've mentioned. Okay, so now the onus is now on you to start developing this entrepreneurial mindset. These are just tips for you to start developing it. Number one is for you to break away from the norm. For you to, there are norms that have been set. It's like a limitation. It's like a limitation on startups that after some times a startup is designed to fail. Let me use that word now. There are beliefs. There are beliefs that it takes a whole lot for businesses to be successful, and then of course, which is true, but the way it has been constructed, young people or people entering into business generally believe that it is very difficult to succeed, or it is very difficult to reach a high level as a business owner. Okay, so one of the things you need to do as an upcoming entrepreneur, or if you're in just a business now, is to break away from the norms. So you can free your mind from whatever beliefs that has been coined. And of course, these beliefs affect small business owners. Okay. Number two is understand what motivates you. Understand what motivates you. If it is figures, if it is meeting needs of people, if it is numbers that motivates you, understand it. Whatever motivates you in business, you must understand it. It is dangerous not to understand what motivates you before you go into business. It is a colossal danger that is looming on that kind of business. So you need to understand what motivates you as an entrepreneur. It helps you to develop a particular mindset. Okay. Number three is for you to know what you love. Know what you love as an entrepreneur. A lot of people just think that business, of course, business is all about profit, but business is also all about what you love, the product and services you love to render to people. Because if it is profit alone, when you make the profit to some certain extent, you get to understand that what else? The question you'll be asking yourself is what else? So you must know what you love, and then this will drive you. This will create an emotional atmosphere for developing the right mindset. Please note, understanding what motivates you and knowing what you love creates an emotional atmosphere that helps you to build the right mindset as an entrepreneur. Again, of course, we have discussed the elements of entrepreneurial mindset. You must, however, challenge yourself to develop these elements and make them part of your mind, of your thinking faculty, of your everyday experience, of your intuition, of your perception, of what is in your mind, what runs in your mind every single time. Challenge yourself to inculcate those elements and have them in fully in your mind. Okay, you must challenge yourself. A whole lot of entrepreneurs do not want to change the mindset that they have that is causing their business to fail because they don't want to challenge themselves to think about other things or to break away from that norm. So you must challenge yourself to say, oh, this is the mindset an entrepreneur must have to be successful. I must have that kind of mindset, and then I must be thinking about it every second. Okay. Then another thing is to embrace experimentation. Embrace experimentation. Experiment with a lot of things. That's one of the things that makes business or entrepreneurship unique. You get to try a lot of things. It is not, like I've said, nothing is guaranteed in business. In fact, in life, nothing is guaranteed. Sometimes it requires that you experiment to see which one works. Okay, and then by the time you experiment and see which one works, it forms a particular mindset about you and what you do, and of course, that mindset helps you for further decision making in your journey in entrepreneurship. Okay, so another thing is to develop growth mindset and commit to growth. I think this is one of the most singular factor to developing an entrepreneurial mindset and succeeding as an entrepreneur generally. Develop a good, any business owner or any entrepreneur that does not have a good mindset has already killed the business before it starts. Okay, so this is a fact you must understand as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, or as someone that is just coming up in the space. Understand that you need to develop good mindset. Your mindset must be fully fixed on goal. How do you grow every day? How do you become better every day? Now, and when you develop this mindset that keeps asking the particular question, how do you go? Why must you go? Then what is the effect of you going? And then it keeps on asking this question and evaluating this question, and will not stop at that. Will commit to the growth. Then, with the level of growth that you come across, if a mindset is fixed for you, and that mindset, of course, when you develop a growth mindset, and naturally your business will go. The growth of any business is tantamount or is equivalent to the growth of the visionary. Any business that go, any business that succeed up to the global level is as a result of the fact that the owner has go up to the global level. This is a fact, and it must be taken as that. Okay. Then again, I really love the next point is in developing an entrepreneurial mindset, you must spend time with successful entrepreneurs. This is one of the key, if not the most important key to developing entrepreneurial mindset and to even be successful as an entrepreneur, if not the most important. Because like Charles Tremander Jones will say, you are what you are, and that's what will be in the next 5 years, except for two things: the books you read and the people you move with. So your change, your growth, your success in the next 5 years in business is hinged on two things generally: the books you read. Let's paraphrase it as the information you have and the people you have. So success generally in the short and medium term is as a result of the information you have and the people that surround you. So it is important that to develop an effective entrepreneurial mindset, you must surround yourself and spend time with successful entrepreneurs, because the way they talk and everything they do subconsciously enters into your mind and begin to create a nature that your minds begin to take shape of. It shapes your mind, and your mind take that shape over a long period of time. It is people that you spend time with determines what you be. People you spend time with determines who and what you be in the next 5 years. It is a fact, and it's a truth. So as an entrepreneur, to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, understand that you need to spend time with successful entrepreneurs. It is quite important. Number three, the next one is changing your habits. There are destructive and constructive habits generally. And then of course, it's some of the habits that some entrepreneurs have will not make them to develop the right mindset to do the work. Laziness, lackadaisical attitude, lack of commitment, lack of ability to manage time, and a whole lot of habits like that could affect your mindset generally. So you have to identify some of the habits that you have that is informing the kind of mindset that you have now, and change those habits. And then lastly, you must also develop strategic thinking. Strategic results require strategic actions, and strategic actions require strategic thinking. This is also a fact. And then the level of trends in 21st century requires that every business owner is strategic enough to place his business where it's supposed to be. So you have to develop strategic thinking ability. This is a topic on its own, but of course, one of the assignments I will give is that you go and read about how to develop a strategic thinking, and then begin to engage yourself in strategic thinking. With these thoughts, strategic thoughts, your mind is saturated to begin to think in a certain pattern. And then when you begin to think in a certain pattern, a mindset is being created generally. Okay, so this is quite important. Now, so far, what we have said is that to be successful as an entrepreneur, you need an entrepreneurial mindset, because everything human being does starts from the mind. And whatever we do has an effect because it produces results. So in order to see the results, in order to have the needed results, in order to see your outcomes being achieved, you need to develop the mind. So it's a three-way thing. It's a three-stage process: the mindset, the actions, and the results. But everything starts from the mindset. So I want my business to be this. I want to make so profit. I want to do this. I want to create this product. I want to do this and that. You want to do a lot of things. Why? Quite right. It is good. You want to achieve this objective. You want your business to be like this. You have set the dream, set the goals, set the target, set the objectives. And of course, you want to see the result coming in. It starts from not the action that you take, but from the mind that you have. So it is quite important that every entrepreneur develop a certain mindset. And then the elements of those mindsets has been stated in the first slide that we mentioned. It is quite important. So developing a mindset, again, is intentional. It is needed, and you have to cultivate it. So the work now is that you need to start cultivating an entrepreneurial mindset if you want to be successful in your journey as an entrepreneur. Okay, so this is a lecture. And then, of course, I hope you have been able to gain that you need to develop a mindset, and you start working on building your mindset to be entrepreneurial. And of course, with that, your actions, your decisions, and your results will align as it's supposed to be. Thank you for this lecture. Thank you for listening. We have come to the end of the lecture.